Hey, what's up, Gemini? So I am back and I'm doing a reading on what makes you unstoppable. So when people see you, they come across you, they try to interfere with what you have going on, they try to bring you down. Why are they not able to succeed? Okay, so Gemini, let's get some cards on what makes Gemini unstoppable. What makes Gemini unstoppable? Ooh, the sun reverse. Oh my gosh. It's like because you can't be easily tricked or fooled. Gemini, people know, or either they end up finding out that you can't be easily tricked or fooled. They cannot just tell you anything. You're going to look deeper into the information that you have or what is at face value. Because, see, a lot of people, they're able to trick other people, deceive other people based on what they offer them, the shiny package that they present to people, the persona. With you, they can't just come at you with this facade because you're going to see straight through them, baby. Well, and this is what makes you unstoppable because you don't play games, like you don't fall for, even if you are a game player or you play games, you play them on your own terms. Like you don't just fall for the okey doke. Oh my god. Because you can't be held down. You're quick to let the past go. You don't let your past stop you. Even if, and I'm going to say this, I feel like Gemini's recently experienced some things that had them feeling like they were attached to something. They had these burdens, like they had to look at the glass halfway empty when usually the Gemini is like able to look at the glass halfway empty, but then it's like, yeah, but I don't have to accept this. But I feel like maybe something just previously or in the recent past, maybe up to 5 years ago plus, these experiences that a lot of Geminis experience put them in a situation to where they really had to go through and endure a lot of emotional turmoil, maybe from themselves, others, maybe lost people, situations that they felt like was special to them, something that they were not able to overcome. But look, you were you were able to overcome those situations and you're still standing. Like no matter how you feel like it looks, you are still standing. If you're here for a reason. This is what makes you unstoppable because of your detachment in situations, your detachment with people, your ability to emotionally detach, your ability to separate yourself from information, from things that you were taught, from the way other people see the world. You're able to detach yourself from the approaches that people take traditionally, from things that usually get people stuck because of how they feel, because of the judgments that they place on themselves, etc. What have you, you're able to detach yourself from that. All these reverse cards. The Page of Pentacles is reversed. Yeah, you're unstoppable because you see things differently. You approach life differently. If you ever have to start new, you start new and you're not stuck. Like you're not just stuck by one path or one way. You have multiple ways of doing things. You have, like, even when something doesn't go right, you have something else, another direction that you can go in. But because you're able to do this, it makes you valuable. It makes you valuable to a lot of people because whether you believe it or not, or whether you see things this way or not, people find value in what they can't have, what they can't possess, and it's very hard to possess you completely. You never completely give your whole being and put your whole being into the hands or into control of someone else. So you can't be controlled. You know what you want to offer in situations. You know what you want to commit to, what you don't want to commit to. You know how far you're going to go with it. You know all of these things already. Or you test them out, and it's like it's hard to control you or manipulate you. And this is what makes you unstoppable. I don't know why all these. This one, I don't know. It could have been. It was like halfway up, halfway down. Yeah, this is so basically people can't. When I say the thing about people can't control you, like they can't just offer you or bribe you with stuff. They can't. Literally, when you do something, unless they try to trick you, but eventually you're gonna end up figuring out the truth anyways. So it's like they can't just bribe you with stuff. Like you, more than anything, you say true to what it is that you represent. Now, I'm not gonna lie, it doesn't always make you the most popular by the fact that everybody likes you. But it makes you popular, or it makes you known. It makes you respected in a way that people end up knowing you, end up liking you, or just respecting you. They don't have to like you based off the fact that they're like, okay, well, you know what though? When push comes to shove, I mean, we knew what Gemini represented. We knew what Gemini stood for. Like that's one thing you gotta give them. So it's hard to take you in directions. Now, don't get me wrong. When you have to start new or you have to start over, you'll start new. You'll start over. But people can't just lead you anywhere. This is why you have a hard time with people. This is why you're unstoppable, but at the same time, other people, you have a hard time with other people. See, you're not stuck to your past. You don't over romanticize things. Relationships, you don't romanticize them. This is what makes you unstoppable, because you'll take some Geminis that'll be in a relationship situation, and it ain't typical. And people are like, well, why are you with him? Why are you with her? It doesn't make sense. He did A, B, C, or D to you. But on the Gemini side of things, they're looking at it realistically. Like, okay, well, you know what? Hey, like, everything ain't that glitters ain't gold. Like I don't over romanticize relationships. Like I look for friendships. I look for understanding. I look for something that's going to be real. And real may not look like the fairy tale that you have created for yourself, for the world, for others. It may not look like that. Yeah, in the past, you don't let the past become who you're supposed to be in the present. You can literally shape or become what you need to become in order to move forward how you need to. That's really good, Gemini. This is what makes you unstoppable. All the things that make you unstoppable is because you are not trapped by your past. Whether people believe it or not, it's like you are who you are. You don't make excuses for that. Like you don't try to there's no excuse. It's just like, well, I am who I am. Like I don't want to appeal to your emotions. I don't want to appeal to who you believe I'm supposed to be and what I'm supposed to represent and how I'm supposed to show up. And none of those things have control, power over you that do. The things that usually limit other people, they don't limit you. They don't have to. Sometimes there are those situations in our life that we really want to hold on to. Like we really want it to work. But at some point, even Gemini lets it go. Oh my gosh, this is interesting. Lizzo. Self-love. It's interesting though because Lizzo is a Taurus, and if you think about it, naturally in the chart of a Gemini, Taurus is in the 12th house. And what makes you unstoppable is your ability to manifest. Okay? Your ability to always find a way. Your ability to not be attached to the physical. Like for you, it's like, okay, so things happened. What's next? It's like you can see your enemies coming, or you can see people that maybe are not even your enemies. You already know. You know what their approach is, or if you figure it out. You know how they're coming. You know when they're not acting right. You know. And you prepare for that. You secretly prepare. Like you never let somebody know everything that you have in your back pocket, that you have in your arsenal. I think that irritates some people. But at the same time, that's why you stay several steps ahead. Leadership, Nicki Minaj. Interesting, because Nicki Minaj is a Sagittarius, which is the opposite of you. But it just goes in, to what I've already said about you, Gemini. And under this leadership thing, you are a natural born leader. Like, you end up doing things. And this is why you have to also be careful too, because you have to decide. You have the choice of who you're going to be, what you're going to represent as a Gemini. You like, what are you going to represent? What does that look like for you? What are the things that you're doing? Are you using your words and your leadership capabilities to help others, or to ultimately, bring people to their own demise, defeat people? Because we all know that Gemini, when you put that mouth on people, it's very hard for them to ignore what you said. Like, you bring some sort of reality to their world that they're not really trying to deal with. They may or may not be trying to deal with. But this is what makes you unstoppable. Because you're willing to stand up against others when you need to. And you're willing to stand your ground, whether that is vocally or or not. It's just, it could be something vocally you do, or just by your representation, like how you move. That's what makes you unstoppable. You take your opposite, you take your shortcomings, the things that's going opposing you, and you make it your own. Like you defeat it some type of way. Ambition. It's your ambition. I don't know what sign Dreezy is, but it's your ambition. Because it's like, that's what you have, like your vision. You're passionate about your vision. You're passionate about what it is that you want to accomplish. I know that's ambition, but you have ambition. You have drive. Even when you take a hit, it's like when you know something is true for you, until it's not true for you, you gotta keep coming back. Wow. Order. What makes you unstoppable? Because it's a mental thing. Like, once you mentally succeed mentally, once you envision things, once you have that knowledge, have access to knowledge, it's like, for you, things fall in place. That's what I'm getting with order. Like, things naturally fall in place. So don't be afraid to, like, if you have some sort of idea, you have some sort of vision, you want to approach life a certain way, it's something that you have that you want to do, and other people don't understand it, or they don't get behind it. I feel like naturally, like, through time, things just fall in place. Like, time ends up catching up to you. So you're just ahead of your time. Sometimes when things don't, it seems like it's not working out in the way that it should, and people are not jumping on board, it could be because of different things. Because of fear, they just don't see your vision. Like, you're ahead of your time. Look at this. Nine of Wands reverse on top of the order. So don't worry about fear. Don't worry about the fear that other people project onto you. Because it's like, why you gotta stop yourself? Stage love, mood. What makes you unstoppable? Because you don't take on other people's moods. Like, you don't take on other people's feelings. You know? And people feel like, oh, well, Gemini don't have the ability to be empathetic. It's like, yeah. Or sympathetic, however you say it. But it's like, yeah, but it's just like, I'm not going to take on your feelings. Like, your feelings, I respect them and everything, but they're not my feelings. It ain't my experience. And another thing that makes you unstoppable is because you're the moods, like, you're able to put yourself in environments and be able to become that environment if you need to, or understand. It's not become, you understand it. And then you have, because of this, you're able to make connections, you're able to make friends, you're able to sell, buy, do things that fits the needs of the people. You're able to be that voice for what other people feel, but they cannot communicate. They don't know how to say. That's pretty interesting, Gemini. All right, so I'm just going to get a couple other cards. And if this is something that you're trying, if you are feeling yourself being blocked or stopped, you can utilize this reading to help you, not be stopped by these things. Spiritual maturity. This is what makes you unstoppable. Spiritual maturity. You look for things that you don't physically see, things that don't physically meet the eye in all situations. It's your level and ability to understand both sides, all sides. And people don't understand, like, well, why do you feel sorry for this person? Why do you want to be with this person? Why do you want to help this person? Why do you think like that? Why do you want to approach things like that? And you're just like, because y'all just don't get it. Y'all don't see what I see. Heck, you don't know what I know. And because like, this inward, this knowledge, this third eye information, this third eye knowledge, your ability to see through the matrix, you're able to make steps accordingly that make sense to you in your life. And actually, if other people gave it a chance and applied it, it would make sense for them too. But even if it didn't, you lead your life because you know that you see through this world, you see through situations, you see enough to know how you should move. And a lot of times it's like you move in a way that other people don't know how to, like where they're stuck at and where they're limited at, you're not. And this is what makes you become the leader, when you're able to step into those shoes and step into these places. And a lot of times you get a lot of you get people coming up against you because they don't understand. They don't see what you see. All right, Gemini, and this is what makes you unstoppable.